What's up, Ram fans? I'm Leah Cackowski.
And I'm Madeline Davis. If you joined us last week on our Moby journey, you saw we had so much fun that we just had to do it again. But before you come along inside with us, we have some other Rams news to discuss first.
Women's Hoops hosted San Diego State over the weekend to compete in the annual Fight Like a Ram game that came with a heated conference battle. And well, I gotta say, it was a long plane ride home for the Aztecs because Colorado State came out on top with a merciless score of 82-50. The game was over before the second quarter, as CSU held up San Diego State to 3 points in the first, with the Rams scoring 12. From there, the Green and Gold were unstoppable, scoring over 20 points each of the following quarters. Once again, it's all thanks to McKenna Hofschild. She scored 16 points in the first alone and a ridiculous 34 on the night. This is her 8th double-double on the season and her 3rd career 30-point triple-double. Sydney Meck was second behind her with 14 total points, and she expressed that, quote, "We feed off of Hofschild," and I couldn't agree more. However, the game was bigger than basketball. The annual Fight Like a Ram matchup is a special one for plenty of reasons, but it meant more tonight. Redshirt freshman Taylor Ray was able to get some minutes in as the game as well, whose battle with cancer inspired the team's warm-up shirts with her name shown on the back. All of Colorado State coaches and players wore those shirts before tip-off for the Pink Out Matter. The inspiration and energy led to the win because head coach Ryan Williams said, "Saturdays in Moby are just downright sacred to me, and you know, the last two have been really special. The sellout last Saturday, and then today was a very special game with the Pink Out. We played really inspired both days." The win now puts the Green and Gold at 5-5 in conference play with just a month left before tournament play. Next up for the Rams is Fresno State here at Moby Arena tomorrow night, and you won't want to miss this team.
While the women were lighting it up in Moby, the men were out in Fresno searching for their first conference road win on the season. While it has no doubtedly been rough for the Rams on the road as of late, they finally managed to pull out the dub over the Bulldogs with a final score of 73-61. This was a team effort for CSU, as we saw all 5 starters reach double-digit points. Bigs Joel Scott and Patrick Cartier utilized the paint and both led the team with 14 points each. Isaiah Stevens and Neat Clifford were sitting not far behind with 12, and Josiah Strong put up another solid performance, racking up 10 points himself. It's this kind of production that CSU has been lacking on the road and is great momentum coming into tonight's matchup with the Boise State Broncos. We'll get into that one a little later.
Women's swim and dive hit the road last week, heading to the Air Force Diving Invitational, where our Rams were able to put on quite the show for the Falcons. Competing on platform for only her 2nd time this year, sophomore Maggie DeScipio fought to final for the 2nd time in 3 days. Maggie scored 187.85 in the preliminary round to secure her spot as one of the final 12 qualifiers. She would then finish the finals with a score of 186.15, where she would place 10th. Diving coach Chris Bergeret was very impressed with DeScipio's performance, saying, "She did some very easy dives, but she did them very well. I'm very pleased with her growth, maturity, and her determination. She has improved tremendously from the last season." Women's swim and dive takes on the Pioneers in Denver this weekend before heading off to the Mountain West Championships in Houston, Texas on the 21st.
Colorado State women's golf team teed off its spring season Friday as they headed south of the border to compete in the Collegiate Invitational in Guadalajara, Mexico. As a team, Colorado State placed 5th out of 12 teams that were ranked inside the top 65 teams in the nation. I sure am proud to be. Andrea Bergsdotter was the star of the tournament. She not only aced the 140-yard shot on the 15th hole, also known as getting a hole-in-one, but she won the Collegiate Invitational, picking up her first collegiate individual win. Congrats, Andrea. Another Ram, freshman Cara Kane-Shiro picked up her 4th top 20 finish of the season with a 9 over 225 to tie for 16th place. The Rams will return to the course February 25th and 26th at Westbrook Invitational in sunny Arizona.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. I'm extremely excited to introduce my brand new segment called Catch with Cack. This series will include interactive interviews with athletes catered to their sport. First up, a game of catch with QB1, Braden Fowler-Nicolosi. Take a look. What's up, Rams? I'm Leah Cackowski here with the one and only BFN, Braden Fowler-Nicolosi, quarterback at Colorado State. And he's going to be joining me on my brand new segment I like to call Catch with Cack. It's pretty simple. Around 10 questions for 10 throws, a little bonus round at the end. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, let's do it. All right, Braden, first question. So, what made you want to get involved with football in the first place?
I think I started at a really young age, so the love for the game kind of just grew from doing it for such a long time.
And then I know you grew up in Texas, so kind of explain to me the culture around Texas high school football. Like, what was that like for you growing up?
So initially I was actually in California. And so in California, it was kind of just something you did after school. And then after I moved to Texas for high school football, it's like, best way to describe it's like a religion. It's like it's its own thing. Everything revolves around it. The stores close, the town closes down, and there's a big game. So it's pretty awesome.
And then kind of moving on to more of your college years and bringing you here at CSU, what made you want to come here? Like, what was the ultimate deciding factor?
I think it was the people for me. Obviously, we have a pretty cool place to play in, but it was the people, it was the coaches. Honestly, when I met them, I knew right away that's where I wanted to be, and that's who I wanted to be with.
And then I'm going to kind of bring back to your first ever collegiate start, going back to 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada, away game, amazing win. How did that feel? What was that moment like for you?
I think going into it, there was a lot of nerves, obviously, because it's the first time I've ever done it. I felt prepared for it, and then first quarter injury was like kind of my welcome to college moment. Like, whoa, these dudes are a lot bigger, a lot stronger. And so I think that's kind of where something flipped in my mind for me. Like, okay, I need to prepare way more than I have before and be way more ready than I think I need to be. And it'll translate to games.
I just remember that game. It was so big for Jay Norvell, too.
Mm-hmm.
Going back his old programs. Free the win, that was amazing. And I have to ask, what is like your pregame rituals? What are the steps you absolutely have to go through before any game day?
So I always get made fun of for this. I have to drink 5 chocolate milks the morning of the game. And it's super counterintuitive because people think that makes your stomach hurt, but that's just my thing. I love them. I can't get enough of them. So chocolate milks, and then I have to listen to country music when I'm warming up. That's about it.
All right, and then my last question for right now before we go into the bonus round. What did you learn most from last season? And what are you taking in? Like, what are you most excited for next?
I think I touched on it a little bit, but preparation is key. I think you can never be prepared enough for a game. I think overstudying and learning things, just little keys about people on the other team, can really benefit you when you're in the heat of battle.
I love that. Hey, are you ready for the bonus round?
I'm ready.
I'll explain the rules. So basically, there's a chance for 2 more questions. So, I have to be able to catch one of your routes in a pass.
Okay.
If I catch it, that's a question.
Okay.
And vice versa. I have to be able to successfully throw you a pass as well.
Deal.
Deal?
Deal.
Okay, what do you want to do first?
I think you should catch first.
I should catch first?
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta tell me what to do, where to go. What's
all
the play?
All right. You gotta go right here,
okay.
Right where the numbers are.
Okay.
And it's just a go route. Just running straight. I'm gonna say ready, set, go.
Okay.
You're going on go.
Okay, I'm going.
All right, here we go.
All right,
Ready, set, go.
I think I was gonna catch that. That was the first.
I had faith.
All right, we're gonna start off pretty easy. I'd hope at least. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl? Who do you got?
I think the 49ers are gonna take it.
Okay.
Yep.
Why?
Because they have the best running back in the NFL, and as much as people hate on Brock Purdy, I think he's clutch.
All right. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to catch now?
I'm so ready. Can run a slant?
Yeah, a slant pass.
A slant? All right, yeah, I'll run a slant. Yeah, I got you. Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, run that way.
You're the quarterback. All right, here we go.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, ready, set, go.
Okay. All right. Ready, set, go.
Oh.
Very good. All right, I did not think we'd pick 2. That's great. Okay.
There we go.
All right, so this is our last question. But I want to know your thoughts on the transfer portal. Being an athlete yourself, it's kind of a newer thing, obviously. It's been very popular the last few years,
Right.
losing guys on our own team, LP. What do you think? How do you think that's affected like the college, just football process in general?
Right. I think right now it's a little bit of a touchy subject, obviously, because it's so fresh and so much is happening with it. But I think for players who don't feel like they're getting the opportunity that they want and need to excel and maybe make the next level, it's a huge blessing for them. And I don't think anybody can fault them for that, as much as it stinks to lose great players.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool opportunity for people who need it or want it, and wish nothing but the best for people in it.
That's great. Well, Braden, thank you so much for joining me. That was so much fun. And,
Of course.
Have a great off season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I had so much fun talking to Braden, and I can't wait for the series to continue throughout the semester. And speaking of football, we have one of our very own players with his brand new segment coming up next.
What's up, Ram fans? My name is Matt Greenwald. I play football here at CSU, but I wanted to take my talents to the camera. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time now, about a week or so. Here is the first ever episode of my new TV show, Suiting Up, where I interview athletes at CSU and try out some drills that they do for their sport to see how hard each sport is. Okay, this is the question everyone wants to know. Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi, but I don't really care. Ronaldo. Messi all the way.
How could you not care? This is the two questions for the kickers, the people who kick the ball. Do you ever want to grab the ball with your hands and run with it?
That's like an intrusive thought that sometimes happens, but Kennedy does when she decides to fall on it.
Oh. So what do you hate most about your sport?
Hydration testing, I'm not a fan. It's not fun. It could be skipped.
Hydration
It smells
testing?
weird.
What is this?
Well, we take little Dixie cups and we go to the bathroom,
One or two?
And there's a number one.
Wait.
It's called Water Wednesday. Water Wednesday.
All right, so awesome. Thanks for that. I didn't want to know, but thank you. So who do you think can headbutt the hardest on the team?
On the team, out of all of us, not Kate Dunn. That's Stutzman. Yeah, true. Let's Stutzman.
Okay.
100%.
Can you give us a Nice. I think the question everyone wants to know is, why do you use pre-wrap as a headband?
It's just convenient. You just bring the roll with you to practice, games. You always have it on you, and it looks cute. Alex Morgan kind of started the trend.
Who-
But do you know who that is? Oh God. Seriously? Oh no. That's.
She's a soccer player.
She's pretty well known, but
Okay.
she definitely started that.
Let's just look at my other questions I have here. So, some would say that you guys are just cross-country runners who can kick the ball.
I can get behind that. Yeah. Fair statement, Shayna. Yes, I would agree.
You don't run though.
I mean, I don't run. I'm more of a very unathletic track jumper.
All right, this is a true or false segment. Do you get in fistfights?
Occasionally. True, question mark. Depends who you're talking to.
Okay.
True.
True. All right. Do you talk?
Yes. True. True, yes. False.
Do you throw elbows?
True. Yes. False.
Why do you guys call it soccer and not football?
America. Yeah, America. Land of the free.
Into my next question. So people think that American football is better than your football. Why are they right?
No comment. The only upside, it's not better. Soccer is here, American football is down here.
All right. Well, let's continue it on. All right. What does the term bar down ski mean to you guys?
Bar down ski. That would be like hitting the crossbar and it goes straight down and you score.
Do you ever get scared of the ball coming at you, like during a free kick?
No, I'd rather have it come at me. No, but I'm not scared.
Nice. What is your celebration besides running away from everybody until you guys all get tired and do a group hug?
I feel like that's the classic.
Yeah,
college soccer.
that's
Yeah.
really the classic.
I watch my film.
Unless you're Florida State.
Okay, and have you ever seen a crazy man with his shoes off running around at your games?
Actually, yes, I have seen him, unfortunately.
So now that the interview's over, it's time to see how hard soccer, football actually is. So I'm going to get in goal. They're going to shoot at me. I think I'm going to block every shot that they shoot at me in goal, and I'm going to hit top shelf, upper decky down, and yeah, it's going to be a great time. So let's go hit some balls.
All right, bring it on. Bring it on. Here we go. Oh, God. Oh! Nothing. Get that out of here. You're done.
Remember when we all played soccer around second grade? Yeah, me too. Soccer is way harder than I remember. Those girls are super athletic, and I tip my hat to them. I had such a great time. Tune in next week to watch me put on the goggles with swim and dive.
It's easy to recognize all the work that our players put out on the court and the way our coaches see the game from the sidelines. But down the tunnel, our men's basketball staff support this team in every way that they can, and one of them is more familiar than you might know. It was such an honor to be able to talk with someone who has done so much for CSU athletics, both during his time as a student and staff.
Favorite part about my job is just the people I work with. I think it starts with Coach Matt and our coaching staff, seeing them every day and being with a team that's committed to help these young guys succeed in life and on the court. And then every day I think it's a long day or bad day, I realize it's basketball. So I'm very appreciative that I get to work in a sport that's given so much to me. Being here at CSU, I have 2 degrees here at CSU, and my experience that brought me here was all because of basketball. So being able to be in this profession now and get back to these guys, I'm very, very fortunate to do that.
If you haven't heard of him, you might want to look him up. Jode Simon is a name that will forever live in Moby Arena. Not only was he a player, but he would finish his career with the most wins in CSU men's basketball history.
So my career as a player, I think just the community. So I was very fortunate to play here 2012 to 2016 and had a great 4 years here. Got to win a lot. Had so many great teammates, so many great moments in Moby. As a player, my whole life I obviously dreamed of being a Division I basketball player. Growing up in Saskatchewan, Canada, I had older siblings that played in the United States, and having the opportunity to come back here and play at CSU was incredible. So many great teammates over my 4 years here, but finding a community like Fort Collins that was just so connected to this team, so much support around us and me as not only as a basketball player but as a person was very important for me. Just the life experience of playing in Spain, meeting so many new people, experiencing a different culture, food, language, all that, seeing new places was something very spectacular.
His contribution to the sport didn't end in Spain though, because for the last 6 years, he has been working with our Rams as the Director of Player Development.
My Director of Player Development role, I'm very fortunate to handle a lot of the off-the-court stuff. Academics is on top of the list. I also do a lot of leadership development with the guys, check-ins with them, kind of help them grow as people throughout their journey here. But I think academic success is very important, and your routine. If something's jacked up and with your routine academically, anything off the court, it'll probably trickle onto the court. And if it's jacked up on the court, then it probably trickles into your personal life. So just kind of make sure that they're succeeding academically, helping their basketball journey, but then also helping them grow as men while they're here. The academic side of it was huge for me. It was something that my parents enforced in me, and just being able to have that experiences as a student in the HES department and a tough, rigorous schedule there, was able to kind of translate to these guys and helping them through that. I'm most proud of the impact I hope I have, and I think I have on these guys every day. I love being there for them, as a coach, but just also as a mentor. Being there through the good times, through the bad times, and every step of the way. And hopefully, I hope that this relationship lasts for a lifetime. So just kind of be able to give back to these guys and be there for them and watch them succeed is awesome.
Welcome back from the break rooms. And Madeline, do you know what time it is?
I heard it's game time.
It's game time. Come along with us.
Come on, let's go. Now that we're officially inside Moby Arena, we can get into tonight's matchup against the Boise State Broncos.
Yeah, Madeline, it's going to be a great game tonight. What are we looking at on Boise side of things?
Yeah, Boise State, they are on fire right now. They're coming off of a huge win against Air Force, absolutely destroyed them, and a win in the pit in New Mexico. They are the only team, the only team to win in the pit aside from the Lobos this season. That was a huge win for the Broncos.
Hard thing to do to win at the pit.
Yes, very difficult. They have 3 players we absolutely need to look out for. Number 1 is Max Rice. Max Rice against New Mexico, he had a career-high 35-point performance. This kid, he might be Leon Rice's son, but he's just good. He's just straight up good. There's no denying it. He averages 12.5 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 6'5". He's a guard. This kid can shoot, and he can shoot the 3. So you have to protect him around the perimeter. Next up, we're looking at Tyson Degenhart, 6'8" forward. This is Boise State's leading guy. He averages 15.7 points per game. He's leading the team, 5.4 rebounds, and shoots over 50% from the field. When he gets into the paint, he makes sure it gets into the bucket. And then you also have to look out for another big, Chibuzo Ogbo. He's 6'7", 14.8 points per game, 5 rebounds a game, and get this, 42% from the arc. That is huge for a guy that's 6'7".
Wow.
So all 3 of these players have been absolutely huge for this Boise State team. This is an experienced team. They're coming in. None of these kids are freshmen. They're all juniors to 5th years. Leah, what about the rest of the Mountain West? How is that looking?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, Boise State has a lot of depth. They've had guys there for a long time, but honestly, Mountain West still stands pretty high. We got 3 teams still in the top 25 for the AP poll. Utah State at 22, San Diego State at 24th, New Mexico at 25th. I know CSU and Boise are honestly right behind them, but the Mountain West still stays pretty strong with teams in the top 25. And the biggest thing looking into this game tonight is still that huge New Mexico win for the Broncos, because New Mexico sits at 18th still in the net ratings. That's the highest in the Mountain West, so their difficulty of schedule still stands. But again, if we're looking at the overall conference standings, where everyone's at right now, Utah State's still in first place, even though they did just lose to San Diego State in Viejas. New Mexico State obviously did just lose to Boise, but CSU's still kind of right down the middle on that line. They're right behind San Diego State, who again, they have already defeated. So again, it's still a matter of who can win away. That is really the name and the phrase that we're going to be looking at tonight, and we're going to see what has to happen.
Yeah, home court advantage has been huge in the Mountain West. As you've seen, it is nearly impossible to win on the road, and so Boise having that huge win at the pit, it's a little nervous if you're a CSU fan. It makes you a little nervous.
But I don't know. Tonight, Moby Madness still has stood the past few games. We've had some really loyal fans. They absolutely showed out last week for state pride. I'm very excited coming in tonight because, again, if we take a little look at the last time we faced the Broncos, that's kind of where things started to go downhill a little bit for the Rams. If we look at it, we lost 65 to 58. We only shot 25% from the three-point line, and the worst part, 60% on the free throw line.
Free throws absolutely killed the Rams.
Yeah, that game, that really kind of just, that is what absolutely made it to where the Rams couldn't pull off the win. But I feel like tonight, again, our star players continue to shine. Nick Clifford, Isaiah Stevens, Joel Scott, Patrick Cartier, they have been consistent, and their three-point shots, nothing but up lately. So I'm very excited for tonight.
I'm really excited. We're expecting another big crowd here at Moby Arena. Yep. So let's go see what they have to say.
Who's going to be the lead scorer for tonight's game?
Got to go with Nick the Freak Clifford. It's got to be. Nick Clifford is. It's got to be.
Easily. I think Joel Scott's going to be the leading scorer tonight. I just think he's really dynamic, and I think he's going to have a big night tonight.
Who's going to be our lead scorer tonight? Isaiah Stevens.
All right, final score, specific number?
I think it's going to be 80 to 72.
Where's our foul?
Madeline Davis and Leah Cackowski here after the game where we just saw the CSU Rams take down the Boise State Broncos with a final score of 75-62. Leah, what did you see in tonight's matchup?
The Rams were on from tip-off. I think they were extremely consistent throughout the entire game. 37 points in the first half and then 38 in the second half. It was an all-around team effort. What did we see from the Broncos side of things?
Yeah, Boise, it wasn't exactly their best night, at least compared to what they have done for the past two games. Tyson Degenhart, as we mentioned earlier, he was going to score, and he did. He had 25 points for the Boise State Broncos, and the next highest was Max Rice. But aside from Rice and Degenhart, no Broncos made it to the double digits. So it was a great defensive effort against a great defensive Boise State team.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that is one of the biggest things that they were highlighted throughout this game is Boise State has one of the best defenses in the entire conference, and the Rams matched it and even more so. And, we talked to fans obviously earlier in the game, and they really thought Nate Clifford was going to be our lead scorer for the most part, and he kind of had a slower start of the game, came out strong with a dunk and then a little bit silent until the second half. Isaiah Stevens, though, 16 points on the night, and let's talk about our bench.
It was the bench that came through for the Rams. 23 bench points compared to Boise State's 8.
Wow.
Rashawn Bemba, Joe Palmer, Jalen Lake, great nights. Here's what Isaiah Stevens had to say about the guys off the bench.
They really brought an edge to the game. They played confident, they played fast, they played sharp, and they played a way that we know that they can, night in and night out. And they really kind of gave us some of their extra oomph late in the first half to make some runs, and definitely throughout the second half, just with different guys in the lineup. So I thought that they were a big time for us.
And I don't know about you, Leah, but I couldn't agree with what he said more.
Oh, me as well. And again, the breaks aren't stopping now. We play San Jose State on Friday, and they might be the bottom barrel of the Mountain West, but this conference has proved that literally anything can happen. So stay on your toes. 7 o'clock Friday night, you're not going to want to miss it.